James from Corrosion with Balgurra.
Balgurra. Yeah, nice to meet you, man.
Nice to meet
How
you.
do?
I've got a few questions for you. The first one is a bit of a random one, but what's your favourite takeaway?
Dilshad, like 100%. It's a Bangladeshi takeaway back in Barnsley. It's the best curry house for like probably about 50 miles around.
Chinese starters and Indian mains.
That just sounds like a fucking recipe for disaster.
Well,
I mean, it takes
toilet day after.
Actually,
It ain't gonna go well, but it'll be nice while it lasts.
I can't argue with that. Good Mexican.
Yeah, that's a good choice.
Popeyes for you, mate.
Do you know what? Yeah, we just got a Popeyes in Barnsley and I'm pretty obsessed with it, to be honest.
You know, yeah, I've got to go
Hot
for
wings.
I've got to go for Popeyes. Every time I
hot
get a
wings
chance
is
to
a
go
good
takeaway by myself, it's always Popeyes. You know?
Why are you here tonight?
We just reached out to Mikey, who has put the show on tonight, and we quite like. It's a good mix of bands that are on, like a little bit of black metal, bit of blackened hardcore and that, and we were in another band which is a black metal band, so like it just piques our interest, and I think we're not black metal as such, but we think that if you like loud, obnoxious riffs, then you're probably going to like what we do. So we've reached out, and we played one gig before that Mikey put us on with, and he's pretty down for it, I think.
Just a cool venue as well. I think there's seems to be a good scene in Huddersfield. There's always people coming out, so it's always good to play here as well.
Yeah, venue's sick.
Could you tell us a bit about your band?
Yeah, so we've been actually kind of working together for about 4.5, nearly 5 years now, I guess.
Yeah,
But,
2018 it started.
Yeah, but then we were like, because I'm pretty new to Barnsley, I'm from Manchester originally, so we struggled to kind of cobble members together, and then COVID hit, so it just took forever to get any kind of traction going. But then last year we started gigging properly. We managed to do about 14 gigs in a year, I think. So we got really busy really quickly, and then we managed to get like an EP kind of semi-recorded last year that we're finishing off this spring, so hopefully like a bit of a summer release. I don't know what you reckon, Jamie?
Yes.
Late spring, maybe?
Yeah, pretty much. You know, we just ended up being a bunch of mates that are just playing music that we like.
Yeah.
It just happens to be
We just
music that sounds like white noise.
we just like playing loud, obnoxious riffs.
Yeah.
That's about it. Really.
Is there any like meaning or anything deep behind your new release?
That would be a
We'd
better
probably have to
question.
ask Matt.
Yeah, better question for the singer, but I think
Yeah.
He definitely like he spends time on his vocals, and it's not just a case of like your average run of the mill hardcore like vocals or message or anything like that. There's a lot of it to do with like philosophy, and he's quite like an emotional guy as well, so
Yeah.
you get a lot of that, and I think when you listen to him performing as well, that kind of comes across in his delivery. So
yeah, I think he wanted something more than your run-of-the-mill sort of punch the wall, angry hardcore. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It's just we're going for more of a deep meaning in our
He's got
lyrics, I think.
He's got a big motivation with like social justice, that sort of thing. There's Unmaking Vitruvius, the song we opened the set with, is about, I think, the Pinochet regimes and people being disappeared, and it's from the point of view of someone who has been kidnapped and is being disappeared by that regime. So there's a lot of like political commentary in his lyrics, a lot of philosophy. To get more on that, you have to ask him directly, but he puts a lot of time into them lyrics.
What made you want to be in a band?
We just kind of rolled off a D&D when our campaign flopped, and you're just like, "I've just got a guitar. Do you want to jam?"
I've been in bands on and off since I was like 17, and I kind of like got a little bit. I moved away from Manchester, and then I got like a little bit. I think I was done for a bit, and then I started hearing like the new wave of hardcore bands, and I was like, this is so fucking heavy, and this is just. I think the first band that kind of like piqued my interest was like Knock Loose, like 10 years ago, and I was like, oh my god, is this what bands sound like now? And then kind of from there, I discovered like the Hate 56 YouTube channel, and he's just like documents some unreal, like the talent that he documents that otherwise you would just have no idea exists, and then it's just there and you on your phone or whatever. It's just amazing. So every now and then I just go down these little rabbit holes, and then I was like, I've got to be in a band again. I just got that itch, you know what I mean? So that was that. Don't know what, and then obviously we recruited you guys. And
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I moved back to Barnsley and I got asked if I wanted to play bass in a hardcore band, and it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
sure.
just a right place, right time kind of thing, wasn't it, I
pretty
think.
much. Yeah.
And we've been struggling to find a bass player and a singer for a while at that point. So Liam and Matt kind of came in at pretty much the right times. Matt came in a bit before you, I think, and then you kind of came and rounded off the lineup. And by that point, we had, I think, 90% of the stuff written. It was just the last song in the EP that we hadn't kind of polished off at that point.
And I've been doing bands for about 25 years, so I really don't know any different. I wouldn't know what I'd do if I didn't have to go out to practice and do gigs. It'd just be weird.
Anything other than speak to the missus, innit? She's not going to listen to this story.
I really love my wife. No. But yeah, it's just one of them things. I really don't know any different.
Have you got any upcoming gigs or tours planned?
We kind of stuck our heads in the sand a little bit towards the end of last year to get the EP finished, because we were like, we'll not book any more gigs in, and we'll just focus on getting the EP recorded, because we're doing it all ourselves. And then someone would be like, do you want to play this? And then we'd practice for that. And then we'd be like, right, now we're definitely getting our heads down, we're going to release it. And then before you know it, we're like, that happened 4 more times, and then Christmas, and then we were going to do it again at the start of the year. Then we got off with this, and then we're playing Metal to the Masses in Leeds at the end of March. So that's the only other thing we've got lined up. If something comes along, then fair enough. But we're going to wait until we've actually got something for people to go away and listen to before we really have another push for gigs. But I feel like we've got on really well with like all the promoters that we've worked with so far. So I think we've got like a good network for if we did want something when we're ready.
I mean, we are up for anything, like anything that comes up, we'll, consider it.
Any excuse to make some just horrendous white noise.
I've got one final question, and it is, if you could headline any festival, what would it be and why?
That's all.
So years ago there was a festival called Temples Festival in Bristol, and all the bands on that one were just fucking great.
That last one was nuts.
So yeah, it'd be nice to.
Temples
But obviously, it all fell apart. I think
Yeah.
I think the guy that ran it would have.
Did he like run off with a lot of money and didn't pay?
Yeah, he didn't pay any of the bands, and he massive.
Were you boys there?
You went to the last one,
I
didn't
went,
you?
yeah, I went to the last
It
one.
was amazing.
It was so fucking good. What
The Pig Destroyer and so
Pig
on.
Destroyer and
Yeah.
like Celeste, just like they filled the entire room with smoke and just they were fucking
Got
brilliant.
to see Vitamin X there. That was great. Anil Nathrak for the first time.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
it's so fucking good. So yeah, if at Temples ever came back and we got big enough,
I think
Temples.
other than like you kind of standard hardcore shows, I think Art Tangent would be fun.
Yeah, Out Tangent would have been my pick as well.
But like
I was going to say Damnation, but I don't know if we're even heavy enough to play Damnation. Some of the bands.
it'd be
that
Outbreak then, wouldn't it?
I'm not that fussed about headlining anything, to be fair. I just like to play it. So.
Yeah. One of our mates absolutely loved Techfest, so we kind of thought it would be absolutely fucking hilarious just to not tell him that we're playing and just like walk out onto the stage and like, howdy bastard.
Yeah, we actually.
You've got Chimp Spanner and then you guys.
Last year, last year,
Fucking sick.
So Phil
fucking
last
sick,
year
mate,
did something quite funny, didn't he?
I saw that Cool Khan were playing. I'm like, that's not tech. We're not tech. I'm just gonna fucking Hail Mary this and just send an application in.
Didn't work, but
You were like,
There's nothing
what
going
did you put in now? Just we're not very competent playing as instruments. So we don't really think we fit in with a tech fest, but give us a shout, give us a go.
Well, if someone gets COVID, to give us a shout, we'll fill in. I think anything like just playing with like-minded bands. We're all like. I think the reason we were quite excited for this one as well, because obviously there's a strong kind of like social justice element, like you said, like obviously with Underdark and Grief Ritual and that, and we vibe with that a lot. So just like-minded bands, that'll do it for us.
What is the social justice aspect?
I think it's just the idea that people shouldn't be persecuted for their, their personal what they want to do in terms of like queer and trans rights.
The whole spectrum really, like racism, going into kind of like equality, like I think like modern slavery and things like that are all kind of touched upon. And although like we're lucky enough to say that we've not kind of encountered anything in terms of that from our point of view. We're like very sympathetic to the fact that it happens, and
Yeah.
you know, although we don't kind of advertise that kind of aspect of our band kind of just yet, as we're still kind of like getting everything together, but that'll be like a message that we kind of want to raise.
Yeah, I mean, when everyone's in the pit, like we're all the same. There's no differences between us all in the pit. And
Unless you're a fascist.
well, yeah, I mean, if you're a fascist, then you're going to get smacked. But that's by the by, isn't it? But yeah, I mean, when we're outside of the pit, it should be the same. Everyone should have the same opportunities, the same rights. That equality should be equality. It shouldn't be equality with provisos. It should just be flat out. Everyone gets the same chances. Everyone's treated the same. Everyone is ultimately the same chances in life, and that's how things should be.
I mean, it's an attitude that I feel everyone should embrace. Everyone should.
I think hardcore is actually really good at kind of like.
Just accepting people for who they are, and it should be the default behaviour. Unfortunately, that's not the case, and but I think things are going in the right direction. So hopefully,
those people are getting weeded out a lot quicker than they
Yeah.
normally would do these days. So it's pretty nice.
Yeah, and because of social media as well. Once they get outed, everyone knows. It takes a second for news to spread about it. So as soon as someone's found out to be a wrong-un, they're just straight out. No one wants to know. No tolerance for them. So it's kind of nice in that respect, because you don't kind of end up with twats around quite so much, which is obviously to everyone's betterment, really.
Thank you for your time.
We're good.